Hello, this is KRBrickBot again, and if you watched my rather lengthy top 10 video of 2021, thank you. And now for a short form engagement in negativity with the top worst Transformers that I got. Reveal the Shield Perceptor. I was trying to eBay auction for a Siege Optimus Prime, a really common Siege Optimus Prime, but I didn't win that bid, and at the same time I bidded for this, since to make it 2 for 1, and I want this thing nobody really wanted, and didn't win the thing more people wanted. Most agree that this is a really interesting alternate mode for the G1 Perceptor that was a microscope and an animated inspired vehicle mode. But his transformation is pretty complicated. He has scrawny limbs and big baggy legs. And the arms don't peg in. They're just held in by friction by the sides on the back that doesn't even hold in all that well. It holds. And maybe that head's a little outdated, a little too squarey. It's an okay toy for what it is. I mean, the alt mode is the highlight, but the robot mode is a meh. Good thing that Studio Series Perceptor is coming out, right? But again, I like the vehicle mode, so it's on the very bottom of the list. Dreadwind and Blackwing. For some reason, I really wanted this particular Power of the Prime subset. Even though they're simple Combiner War Jet Deluxe retools, Dreadwind's swept back wing configuration doesn't like to tab in all that well. And the combined jet motor is literally held by a shoestring, unless you awkwardly fan mode it. If only these guns had actual more ports so that they could actually functionally fit together. It's not so much they're really bad toys, it's just that I impulsively bought them twice and then sold off those more used duplicates. Just by my poor decisions, I'm putting this on the worst list. Transformers Kingdom Road Rage. I went for the exclusive red repaint that won than the regular retail Trax version, which is not sold in Hasbro Korea for some reason. If you know the toy, you know its problems. The front tabs that are too tiny that won't stick well even with super glue. Really clashy transformations requiring unlatching and relatching of some really big slabs of transparent, fragile plastic. Legs that have loose tabs that are way too tiny even with super glue. Loose hips because of these exposed mushroom swivel peg legs. And I accidentally scraped her malleable soft head by positioning it in the wrong position as I swiveled this entire canopy around. I mean, I guess it's a good display piece, but you know, just really flawed engineering legs from the get-go, you know. At least I got it for 18 bucks. It's cheap at least. Cyberverse Thunder Howl. As a Cyberverse Deluxe for younger, older kids, I guess some of the joints are not the best, like really loose ball socket feet. Whose idea was it to put a soft plastic pin elbow on a really tight bicep swivel? The transformation's kind of on worryingly thin, flexible panels. But yeah, it's not the worst transformation, but it's just it's a little concerning for younger hands. Cyberverse Deluxes are like low-budget Deluxes, but have the same articulation and price point as the regular Deluxes. But Thunder Howl's build quality is just on the lower end, kind of loose joints, weird choice of easily fragile joints. And I paid $35 for the older version with the macadam head because I'm still trying to build a macadam. And the 2021 Dinobot Adventures re-release doesn't include that part. Kinda overpaid, but I could justify that much for the extra head. Cyberverse Warrior Megatron. In all its limited, articulated, and gimmicky glory. I only got this because it was bundled with Generation Select's Hotshot and Evergreen Optimus Prime. That was much more affordable for a eBay lot than like 30 to 40 for just a Hotshot. Hotshot good. And as limited and hollow and cheap as this Evergreen Optimus is, it is still a good likeness of the evergreen Optimus Prime design, and it's mainline scale enough. But for Megatron, I can swing this for a while, but I have no idea where I want to pawn it off later. The maze can't even maze. Robots in Disguise Crash Combiner. I mean, buzzworthy Bumblebee Crash and Combine Bumblebee Prime and 2 Grimlocks. Kids will enjoy manually finagling a brick of a robot mode, then manually finagling it into legs, and then just manually finagle that into an auto-transforming head that's also a brick. 2 Grimlocks, so it kind of annoys the completionist collector of novelty Transformers, because RID, Strong Arm, and Sideswipe aren't evergreen characters. If you have to manually set up a combining part for a fully automatic transformation, that takes away from the auto-transforming fun. Because then you just sacrifice something. You sacrifice the articulation for a half-automatic transformation, so that's no good. Even the helokarbot Bang and its previous auto-transforming gimmick series is much more enjoyable than Crash Combiners because this is fully automatic. Even for the worst of the helokarbot Bang toys, Hospice B, just because this design and the functions don't work 8 out of 10 times. Truly, I only bought both of these because they are offline Target exclusives, they're legend-sized, and the original RID versions of the molds are ridiculously hard to find and ridiculously expensive. Tobot V Mini Ultra Commander. This simplification is the worst. It's out of scale. Its parts forming, which served a purpose in the bigger toy, is useless parts forming, and the parts forming it doesn't hold together that well. It's not a good connection. Yeah, I mean, I like most of the Tobot V Minis, but not this one. And I guess I don't like the next mini that might make it on the worst list if I decide to get it in time, but I'm just intentionally delaying it. Chinese helokarbot knockoffs. In particular, the super deformed Carbot 6-pack. Yeah, these are the epitome of knockoffs. I mean, it looks like they might be officially licensed, but licensed to the cheapest Chinese company. They all have the cheapest of plastic and paint budget, but the Sky and Sky SWAT mold are the worst. The absolute worst. Because they don't have heel supports. This can stand just how square the back is, but this is too round. This is too round, so no heels. She'll just keep falling over. Hey, at least they're cheap novelties to laugh at. The Mini Force Transbots. New smaller versions of those classic Mini Force bots. But they have very limited articulation. Really cheap Chinese plastic repackaged in Korean packaging and sold at maybe a slight premium. And the transformations are little sliders. It's sliders and a little clashy. And only half of that team was officially released in Korea. The other half is in China. So it's a half release. Why a half release? Why not a full release or none at all? Number 1 worst. Not even gonna reopen this. This top 10 worst list is just for fun. I knew I was intentionally buying these pretty cheap, simplified bad toys on purpose. And I really didn't regret getting any of them. Except these 2 buggers 2 times when I could have just gotten them 1 time. Thanks for watching, be sure to like, subscribe, and tune in for more 2022 reviews. Bye!